Everybody, if we could go ahead and get seated, we'll get kicked off here. Can you guys hear me okay back there? Ryan, Matt, good? All right, I want to welcome everybody for coming today. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Evan Delk. I get the pleasure of leading Integrated Ag. So spring is quickly approaching. This is your friendly reminder to make sure that you change your clocks this weekend, check your fire extinguishers, etc. So it certainly doesn't feel like spring out there today, but it's coming in a hurry. So I wanted to thank our staff for putting this meeting on. Be quite honest, this was kind of a last-minute thing. We were considering not doing a meeting this year just because we were focusing on growth of the company and hiring, and the Integrated Ag team, they said, Evan, we really need to do this. And so glad we're here today, and glad everybody could make it. So also, just in general, I want to thank the Integrated Ag team. Last year was one of our best years ever, and we expanded into a whole nother state, and that's a pretty big deal for a company, and a lot of growing pains and struggles, but we all worked through it, and we had a really good year. Just want to show some appreciation for the Integrated Ag team. So just a quick housekeeping item. The restroom is through those two brown doors right there. We got coffee and donuts, and we'll be having a Red Brick Tavern. We'll be catering our lunch today. Oh, my slides are not turning, are they? It is on, but it's not turning. It is. All right, let's try that again. Sorry. So first, just want to kind of recap 24 real briefly. This here is what USDA thought our crop was going to be, and at the end of the year, we all know what happened. And 2024 was just one of those years where we just have a big sigh of relief and that we made it. And I heard that from several different farmers, and 2023, 2024 in general were just some tough years. So we're going to talk a little bit about future outlook as well. So from a yield standpoint, it was all over the board in Ohio and all throughout the Midwest. Our customers in New York had one of the best crops ever. So it was just a pretty variable year in general. I want to take a minute to mention our IS Yield Trial Program. If you guys aren't familiar with this, it's through a platform called My Farm Solutions, and seed companies send us seed to enter it into a third-party testing program. This has been going on for quite some time, and it's a very valuable seed selection tool. So I just want to mention some of our yield trial participants are here in the room today. If you could just wave your hand, Brendan Cunningham with Invictus, Simplot Invictus, Paul Brodigan, sorry, with Axis Seed, JD Bethel here with Seed Consultants, and then Aaron Berger, and then I don't know if we have any other channel dealers in the room today or not. Am I missing anybody, Corey? Okay. Just want to thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the seed cooperators that enter into our yield trial programs. Okay, I'll get this together in a minute, I promise. This is my check the box slide. So we are a 4R provider, or retail provider, service provider, and we are a 5th year member of the 4Rs, and we are obligated to continue sharing this message with our growers and making sure that we are leveraging solid agronomic recommendations to improve our water quality. So today we're going to be using an app called Slido. You guys have been familiar with this in years past, but if you could get out your phone and make sure that you're connected to the internet, because I don't think we have very good cell signal in here today. But the Wi-Fi is Mass County Fair, and then the password is Madison CF24. And the way this works is you can plug in questions. It will pop up at the end of presentations, or you can just raise your hand and we'll call on you to ask questions as well. And then during lunch, Alicia will be sharing CCA credits as well. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys a chance to log in and give this a shot. So from a 1 to 5, what's your energy level today? How much coffee have you drank? So see, just kind of get used to how this works. No 5s yet. We need to drink some more coffee. JD, I know you're a 5. And then the next question is, do you think net farm income is going to increase, decrease, or no change in 2025? We're going to come back to this slide later on. Oh, sorry. It's Madison CF24. This will make for some good conversation later on. So what's new at Integrated Ag? Several things are new. We have new people. We're going to talk a little bit about our new office and soil lab that we're building, recap a little bit on our HD nutrient process that we introduced last year, and then talk a little bit about artificial intelligence and how that's changing the world of agriculture, and then a little bit about our 2-year soil sampling cycles. So the first one is people. We're a service-based business. Without good people, we can't succeed. So I'm going to kind of go through some of the new hires that we have at Integrated Ag and for 2025, and recap a little bit on some new hires back from 2024 as well. So our first new hire is Audrey Douglas. Audrey, if you could just raise your hand real quick. Audrey's in the back. Many of you guys have known Diane Joseph to be managing all of our accounting operations at Integrated Ag. She's been with Dave for over 21 years, I believe it was. And she is retired, and we're excited to bring Audrey on board. This was her first week this week. So if you guys get a chance, introduce yourself. And Audrey comes from Northeast Ohio. She went to Ashland University and brings several years of experience. So we're excited to have Audrey on board. Our next new hire is Adam Young. He's going to be joining our New York team. He's going to be a agronomy information advisor. He has a bachelor's degree from Cornell, an associate's degree from Global School, and he has also several years of experience in farm management and crop consulting as well. And then Michaela Davison, she has been with Integrated Ag for like 4 or 5 years now, and she is going to have a little bit of a different role. So she's been promoted to a director of business relations for both Integrated Ag and CPGG. So she's been the face of CPGG, which is a buyers group that Integrated Ag manages, and she's still going to be doing that. But in addition, she's going to be managing our day-to-day office management, taking the marketing responsibilities off of my plate, and heading up our safety program as well. So excited for Michaela to continue being a good, valuable member of the team. These are some 2024 not new additions, but 2024 announcements. So Corey Hare, she became a crop consultant last spring of 2020-24 and is managing a book of business. And she also manages the IS yield trials as well and does a tremendous job with that. We have Nathan Culp. He came on, I believe, in fall of 2024 in September, and he is he's local to the area. He actually could walk to work, so he's been a great addition to the infield operations team, and just came in right away and was a quick learner and fits right in. And then our next two are Eric Gingrich and Cora Galipsy. Eric joined the team in November of last year, and he's one of our new crop consultants. And then Cora Galipsy came on, I believe, last spring. Is that right, Alicia? Yes. And she is an agronomy information advisor as well. And they are actually what's called our new team approach. So this is more of an internal thing, but instead of a crop consultant only working on your account, we're going to have multiple people working on your account. So it's just a little bit more of a support role for our crop consultants. And we're going to be implementing that moving forward. And then our last two is Ryan Naughton and Nick Pearson, both additions to our New York team. Ryan is also agronomy information advisor. And then Nick Pearson is in our operations side and helps run our soil samplers out there in New York. So talk a little bit about our new office and soil lab. So when Dave started the company back in 1990, he started it in a little barn and actually lived out of this house here on the left and raised his family and had a little barn in the back, and that's how Integrated Ag operated for a long time. And actually Monday we're going to be breaking ground on a new office / soil lab. So we've outgrown our soil lab, so that was the main reason for the addition. But then also we're going to bulldoze the house and build a new office. So we've been nice and cozy in this house office for quite some time, and we're excited to build a new office. So this whole entire area in front of the soil lab is gonna come up basically right to where the old office was, and the front part will be office and then additional soil lab behind that. So all one building. And these are just kind of the plans. We got office space and cubicles, and then we're gonna have a big giant conference room, and so yeah, we're really excited about that. So last year we introduced our HD nutrient. So this is kind of a next level of fertility prescriptions. Instead of just looking at tri-state soil phosphorus, potassium recommendations, we're leveraging or we're layering in multiple layers of information to drive our fertility recs. And just one quick example of this is actually my field here, and we've created an index for each nutrient. So the green areas are areas. The green and yellow areas are areas where we're most likely not going to see a response to applying phosphorus. And then the red areas, we know that we're going to see a response in those areas. And these are just some of the factors that I mentioned that we're layering on top of each other to drive these recommendations. So instead of just looking at a soil test, phosphorus, we're going to be leveraging our pH. So we know that when we have pH issues, that nutrients act differently. And then we're also going to be looking at the productivity of that soil. So we know that in a higher productivity area, we have a larger factory, larger root system, which means more access to nutrients. So therefore, our critical levels in those areas don't need to be as high. Compared to our lower producing areas, we have a smaller root system, a smaller factory, less access to nutrients, so therefore we need to raise our critical levels in those areas. So really excited to do this across all nutrients, not just phosphorus, and you can start to really fine tune your fertility prescriptions. One quick example would be, variable rating 10340. That's an expensive input for starter if you're set up for that. But now we can leverage this information to maybe only apply in certain parts of the field to where we know we're absolutely going to get a response. So this is an exciting one. I don't know if you guys have played around much with Chat GPT or just artificial intelligence in general, but this one's coming at us fast, and we're going to be trying to learn this as fast as we can, but we're kind of excited that we get to play around with a little bit through our HD scouting program. So if you're not familiar with this, we're using drones and high resolution imagery and artificial intelligence to get some really actionable information so we can actually count plants, identify diseases, nutrient deficiencies, and really provide actionable information to the grower. And they've developed a system to where not only can they identify all of these things in the fields, but then they can also essentially use a Chat GPT to relay all this information back to both the agronomist and the grower quickly, because that is very important in all of this. The velocity of this information in order for you guys to act on it is very important. So this here is just a quick example of that. It breaks it down by nutrient, disease, insect, weeds, stand count, and basically we plug in the imagery into the software, and it can spit out a quick recommendation or description of what's going on in the field. We have been doing this and manually going through every single field and typing this, and now through their system we can leverage some artificial intelligence to speed all of this up. So yes. I can maybe adjust here. Is that better or worse? Apologize. So the last thing I want to mention is our 2-year soil sampling concept. So we've done a really good job of identifying spatial variability in the fields by taking more samples in the field. And we started this back in 2012, and we've seen a lot of very good, valuable information, return on investment. But we have found over the years that we can't quite put our finger on this temporal stability thing. And that's what happens with change in time, weather, a lot of different things. And so what our solution to this is to sample more often. And so we're developing some programs to where we can do, for example, we'll do half-acre grids this year, and then in 2 years we'll come back and do half-acre grids again. But the difference is that we're going to do a rolling average of these soil samples. So the soil samples we take this year will be combined with the ones we take in 2 years, and constantly doing a rolling average of the soil sampling and offsetting the soil sampling as well. So this year we're going to soil sample on this AB line at 150 feet. And then the next year we're going to shift that AB line and then combine those and just continue to do that every 2 years and develop a rolling average of the soil test level. So we're excited about that. We think that this is going to help with that temporal stability issue that we've been seeing. We've been soil sampling some fields year after year, and we just have found that, more specifically, we're going to talk about today is potassium, and mainly potassium is that things are changing a lot sooner than what we had thought. When we first came out and did this, we thought that, because we're doing such a good job from a spatial standpoint and making the correct applications in the field, that we can extend our soil sampling cycles. And we were saying up to 6 years, you could, wait 6 years to come back and soil sample. And then we saw that that wasn't working. We went down to 4, and now we're down to 2 years. So if you're interested in this, talk to your crop consultant. We're offering some discounting on this because, it's an expense, and we're trying to incentivize guys to offer a lower soil sampling cost to do this more often. So just transitioning now to, how am I doing on time, Michaela? Okay. So transitioning to kind of future outlook on 2025. By no means am I an economist, but I do think it's a good talking point and an important one as well. So mentioned earlier, 2023, 2024, they were tough years. So coming back to our SIDO question, do you think net farm income is going to decrease or increase? And majority of you said decrease. And I probably would have voted the same until I was at a meeting a couple weeks ago, and they put this slide up there and said that farm sector profits forecast to grow by 30 billion in 2025, second highest of all time. And I almost fell out of my chair. I was a little bit confused. With that being said, all you got to do is, especially what's happened in the past 10 to 15 days, you got to wait 48 hours and everything will change, and then wait another week and it will change again. So interesting times that we're in, certainly. So I dug into this a little bit more, and this is I think Farm Journal's monthly economy barometer that they do, and this was back in January, and you can see that number is probably reflecting from the livestock industry. Corn's kind of in the middle of the road. Soybeans is towards the bottom. And this is just another ag economy barometer from Purdue. They survey farmers and put together this ag economy index. But you can see that they're kind of saying the same thing, that their outlook for 25 is looking pretty promising. This one here is just kind of the same chart, but looking at not just currently today, this month, but what's it looking like in the future, but also both optimistic. And then this is the Farm Capital Investment Index, and what this is suggesting or displaying is that our farmers investing into land, equipment, those sort of things, and you can see that it's trending towards the upper side of things as well. And the full disclosure, these numbers were run back in January, so this is probably a little bit different outlook since what's happened in the past 10 days or so. But I guess the moral of the story here is that there is some optimism out there. One of them is the grain prices, not so much in the past 10 days, but December going into January, we saw a little bit of an uptick. And then this one right here is the big driver to why they're projecting 2025. I know it's kind of a sticky subject. You either like government subsidies or you don't, but the last administration, we're getting ready to get a payment on that, I think, next week. And we know what the current administration did last time when the tariff war started, but I think they're projecting tremendous amounts of government subsidies in 2025, which is what's driving that forecasted income. So pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna skip through these last ones. So just kind of wrap this up. This here is what is the reason for your farm's larger operating loan this year. You can see that we have increased input costs, increase in operation side or size, or unpaid operating debt. And we can see here what the story's been is the big driver is this increased input costs. And that's where this is wrapping things up. This is my other funny meme, but everything you need to learn to be a farmer. I heard one time that a farmer has to make 40 important decisions each and every year. And that's where we at Integrated Ag can help you. You guys know how to farm. You guys are experts, but there's all of these things that you have to be an expert at throughout the year. And that's where us at Integrated Ag can offer unbiased agronomy solutions to help you guys through this volatile time to increase your bottom line. So with that, I'm going to, I think, pass it over to Corey here. Unless there's any quick questions. I know I went over on time. I apologize. And I hope nobody's asleep because the lights are dark. switcher here.